I feel like usually the everyday is Earth Day, right? So it's not that something that we should celebrate for only one day, then we forget that for rest of 364 day or 63. So I think because of that, I think it's good to talk a little bit about Earth. When I was a kid, I always thinking about Earth. I always thinking about edge of Earth. Where's the end? If I go toward west all the way where can I reach, and I feel like, oh, maybe I will reach at right end of something. And then like traditional answer is like, oh, there's an ocean. Okay, what is beyond the ocean? And in traditional way, they are saying, okay, there's ocean, there's nothing more than that. And then I have a lot of curiosity about it. Like, okay, then what's beyond there? Maybe then there could be edge. There's no ocean. There should be space there, and then beyond the ocean should be like clip of water. Sort of. I was thinking like that. That time I was kid, like 8 years old, something like that. Maybe younger than that. And I even don't speak English. I only know how to say good morning. That's I always saying here good morning every time. That's my first English word. So thinking like that, nothing more than that. So at that time, in my head, Earth is like kind of object, a kind of object, and that is where object that where we are standing on, and then somebody feel like floating things that floating on ocean, and then later on, then I got idea about the Earth as round, right? Then I get a lot of wonder then how it could be around, why we cannot fall down, or all these kind of things there. And then I am more interested in science. Then I have I want to know more about how the moon works, how the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse work. Right, then I try to understand more and more about that. But still, I feel like I did not understand what is Earth. I know the Earth is round and surrounded by moon and moving around sun with other orbit. And then more than that I don't understand that much. And then later on there's a lot of environmental issues, right? And then the Buddhist study also goes up. In Buddhism, we were talking about ground a lot, ground, right? So in Tibetan language, there's not much difference between earth and ground. It's the same thing. And then I feel like understanding the definition of earth a little bit. According to the Buddhist teaching, the earth or ground means a basis for all goods and qualities. A basis for all good and qualities. And the great Buddhist philosopher Chandakirti, when they explained other ground as practice, in the practice, right? Ground means like a basis of all qualities, right? And then in outside, ground means similar things, right? It's not talking about spiritual basis of spiritual qualities, but it's talking about basis of other qualities. So then explain that one clearly. In order to explain that one clearly, there's one teaching from Nagarjuna. In Nagarjuna's teaching, he explained earth as basis of all living beings, including which can move, which cannot move. So, in his letter to his friend, he said that in Tibetan here, Timni Yuda Miyu Sashindo Yunde Kunji Shiten Labarso. He was, talking about not earth directly. He was talking about morality, right? Then he is using the earth as metaphor for morality. He was saying the earth is a basis of all things that moves or that doesn't move. So likewise, he was saying the morality is basis of all your qualities, such as moving means the wisdom, right? The non-moving means like concentration part, right? We have three trainings like morality, concentration, and wisdom, right? So the wisdom represent moving things, concentration represent unmoving things. Then basis is morality. That's the inner practice. In outside, the earth is a basis, and then moving things like the people, animals, birds. These are moving things, right? The non-moving things could be trees, those plants. Earth doesn't mean an object that is round or triangle or whatever shape it is, doesn't matter, right? So meaning is that is where all good things on this planet, from people to even a single tiny grass, and that basis on. So when I say basis, even doesn't think like a table and cup on it, right? That what table will do for cup? Only hold it up. That's all. But not that, right? This planet, the Earth, is not just holding up. Actually, it's not holding up. What it does is, providing, what things need, and then that help things to grow. So, in that way, then we were talking about something we call Earth as a Mother Earth, the Mother Earth. So it makes really big sense. And then just think about what we call in earlier time, like like mythological story, right? In could be Indian ancient understanding of Earth as a mythological story. Interesting. In mythological story, when they talk about the starting of living human beings, they are explaining Earth as like pure and full of fruit, and that grows without any like special nurturing that what we do for trees these days, right? Everything is growing there, and nobody need to do anything. And then people are also not standing on ground, right? I'm talking mythological story. Okay, don't argue with me with science. Right? Sometimes the Indian story, like they have a Hanuman, right? A flying monkey, and people always say how monkeys can fly without wings. All right, okay, that is science. But in mythological story, it's saying that living beings are floating, and like ground is like very like smooth and like butter, but what they need to eat, everything is growing there. Uh, then there's one person that feel uh, like curious about what it could be ground. We should go there and touch there. Then there's land on the ground and touch it. It's very smooth and soft. Then another person think, oh, maybe we should press it, we should tie it. Then they put it in the mouth, and they feel very tasty. Then they start to eat ground, and then their body get wet, and then could not fly anymore, right? Then they get everything like where to eat the food and where to pass the food, all those holes on their body. This is how they explain there in that way, and then they cannot fly anymore. The story like that, and then they cannot grab those fruit on the tree anymore. Then they have to eat something that grow on the ground, closer one. And then still they are okay. There's no problems. Then what they do, they go out and eat what they have to eat for one day. They're done. There's one lazy person, right? There's a lazy person, and that person was like very like lazy, doesn't want to go out. They're thinking, however, if I go tonight and grab everything and keep it in the house and eat tomorrow, I don't need to go out. Right? So then that person went out and cut those harvest, and then take it home and keep it there and eat it tomorrow. And after that, the things are not growing very well. And then they need to farm, right? And then they need to farm. Then they have argument between people. Okay, right? That's my farm. What you are doing here? You have to get away from there. Then they have fight. Then once they have fight, they need what? Leader, like sort of king or sort of somebody that has power. And that is the mythological story. But I'm not interested about flying things. But what I'm interested is that when people feel greedy, right, and they try to test the ground, and they try to accumulate things, right, try to save something, and this causes the problems. Likewise, in real story, right, where food that's growing on the ground, but we are so interested what is underneath the ground. They will mine, right? We dig the ground. They will try to find out what has, which is rare, like diamonds, like gold, all kind of sort of things. We try to get it out from there. Very similar story, right? That makes people like more and more greedy, right? Most people don't store that much food. They store a lot of money, way more than they need. That's the thing, like between countries, between people, the rich people are super rich. They are always like accumulating how to say, like saving and saving and saving, right? And then others are there and even doesn't have anything to eat for every day, sort of. Then their countries are fighting each other. Most of them they are fighting for what? They are not, we feel like they are fighting for territory or something like that. No, they are fighting for money. They are fighting for, those things. So in that way, in Buddhist understanding, right? Then now I share what ground means. I tell you the methodological story I told you, and now like through philosophy, how can you understand earth, right? In Buddhist philosophy, how can we understand earth? So, according to Buddhist philosophy, earth is a shared good, something that we all share. And since Buddhism doesn't accept one creator as God that created planet Earth or whole galaxy or universe, but what they believe in is karma. And when they're talking about karma, there are two different kind of karmas: individuals karma and a shared karma, or sometimes I think people use terminology like collective karma, right? So then when we explain planet Earth, is not result of an individual karma. Planet Earth is the result of a share or collective karma of what? People who were born here or who will born on this planet. Meaningful understanding of planet. Nobody own it, right? So, and then sometimes we have borders between countries. It looks like every land has an owner, but actually, whole planet belongs to people, or when I say people, to those living things on that planet, and this planet. So then each individual has responsible to respect this planet, responsible to save this planet, right? If it's your own finger, you can cut it, you can sell it, you can print it as red, blue, green, whatever you want, right? Or you can do a surgery and make it double. You can have 6 fingers, whatever, right? That's your hand. But this planet is not for one individuals. That is for everyone. Not even everyone that is living now. It belongs to people who are also not born yet. So in if we understand planet, the earth as a shared good, something that belongs to everyone in the past, present, future, and then we can understand value of it. Then even when you want to damage something in your backyard, you will think twice. Your backyard is your currently, but it's not your forever. And technically it's not your. Actually it's not your, right? You are paying tax. Each land, if you have land, you have to pay tax, right? Am I right? Right. So if it's your, why should you pay tax? Actually, it's not your in generally. But even you pay tax to government, it still is not belongs to government. No. But this world is kind of strange in shape, so they have laws that doesn't make sense sometimes. By the way, yeah, then more and more we notice that this planet is important, environment is important, and every single things that is living around seems important. Then what can or what damages planet Earth? What damages, right? Then when we think about damaging, we're always thinking about outside. No. The planet Earth is damaged by our mind. Sometimes I feel bad when I say anything. It seems like everything is coming from mind, but I cannot avoid it. That is true, and that is real thing. Our negative minds, especially the desirous attachment and hatred, these two things is damaging everything. The desirous attachment is creating things that we don't need. And also the hatred is also creating things that what we don't need. And both is not only creating things that we don't need, also damages. If you have a desire, to make a lot of money, you will damage more and more. If you don't, respect the planet. Likewise, if you have a hatred, then you will bomb. Right? Look around the news. Whenever I, look at the news, it's not only Ukraine and Russians are fighting. Always there's a fight. Right? You might have heard about Israel and Palestine. Right? And always there are fights. Some are happening currently. Right? Some are not happening currently, but always one after one. There's right and killings and all these kind of things there. And most time, nobody do that without hatred. They do those things with hatred. Then sometimes we have legal and illegal things, right? I was thinking to say, the smugglings, right? And then smuggling seems like illegal, but I think there are legal smugglings too. Honestly, legal or illegal is kind of the law make it. Even it is like bad things to do. If law say okay, then that's become legal. But the most time those things like are the impact of desirous attachment, and like or attachment or covetousness does damage a lot of things. Just think about like trafficking animals like chimpanzees. Right there, getting a chimpanzee from Africa to far away like India or like Middle East or somewhere. Why you need chimpanzee? Is your baby is not enough to work, right? So you need somebody who looks like a human being, and right then it's so cute, like really like I want to teach chimpanzee how to read and write. Okay, honestly, we cannot teach read and write for people very well, but this kind of curiosity things there. You spend what money or what they do in Africa. They go to the forest and kill the parents of chimpanzee, then kidnap the baby from there. In that way, it damage planet Earth. And then wood, right? The sandalwood and all these kind of woods. We have a lot of woods around, but still you want special wood. Why you want a special wood? Because you have two things. One thing, you have money in the hand. Another thing, you have the greed or attachment in mind. When you have these two things, right, then in that way you try to get special wood that damage forests. You try to get a special animals, or their skin, or their bone, or tooth that damage planet. Then not only that, then even the food is like sometimes food is good source, but sometimes we want special food, right? A special food. You are right living in like far west. you want to eat something that grow in Far East. Then you spend money there, and they grow there the food, what? Extra. Because they get money. Right, in India where I live, they are growing ginger. They are growing way more ginger than they need. Why? They can sell it out, right? And then when they do that, then they have to use extra water, extra poison, right, on the ground. Then mining, like all those things, like selling special metals, gold, and like gas, uranium, all these kind of things, right? Why we need all those things? Because our mind says that I like it. I like to have those things, and then sometimes is for saving, right? Why you need to save? Okay, we need a lot of these things. Maybe there's a war in the future. Okay, why there's war in the future? Because there's also come from attachment and hatred. Preserving planet, I think, is really strongly binded with developing mind and how to be more aware, and how to be more how much aware and how much compassionate. Otherwise, if we don't develop these two things, awareness and compassion, and then even though we're saying in a one way we're saying to save planet, in another way we are creating all those destructive things. Right, for example, you are living with your next door saying, oh, I'm compassionate to my next door, I want to do something. Inside you are buying guns and missile or like whatever to throw there, right? So if you listen to the news, that they say, oh, Russian might throw the nuclear bomb, right? Why? Even how can we think like that? Not one individual mad person. It's like thinking about an organization or like a country is doing that. So, first thing, why we have these things, right? So if we don't have, we means human being. Okay, so if we don't develop awareness and compassion, and then we are doing contradicting things. Honestly, if we want to save planet Earth, if we want to care about planet Earth, right? So what we need to do is we have to develop our mind, learn how to care about other people than just yourself. More care about future people, right? And even learn how to love your next door squirrels and like birds and flying there, right? So and then we can save the planet. Otherwise, even though you work hard for like 50 or 100 years, then one day done, everything get damaged. The point is, we have to save planet Earth, or we have to preserve it. We should respect planet Earth. In order to do this, each and individual, I think we should think about what we were doing, right? Are we damaging environment or not. Surely, you cannot be perfect in one day, but there's a lot of things you can do, right? You can do, especially if you have a business. There's a lot of way to do it. There's a lot of way to, sometimes I was thinking about that thing called money, right? The money is like strange thing. Everything happened with money. Sometimes I was thinking like that. Because when earlier time people do the trading, what they do, they carry their own things there and they give their things to someone who need that thing, and they get the food. Most time they do the food trade. Right. And then once we have something called money, then that will buy everything, and that does everything. And then you don't have to carry anything. You just spend it, and things will do everything. And in that way, I think it's damaged. Earlier time, if there's a rich person, okay, how rich that person? Or that person has 2 houses. Okay, that person have 100 cows. Okay, 1,000 cows. Right? Okay, if you have 1,000 cows, how much you damage? You don't damage that much. But nowadays, the rich people, they don't have 1,000 cows in the backyard, but they have 1 million of cows in the pocket. Right? That is the money. And that person, if those person doesn't have, awareness and compassion, and that, can damage way more than, right, another one. That's why, whenever I think about planet, saving planet, I was thinking about if we don't change our mind, if we don't develop, awareness in our mind, right, it's really hard to change how to save planet Earth. Earlier time, old fashioned, what they might use religion. Okay, the religion, okay. Or we must have to put that in the Bible or Quran in the first page. If we can do that, okay, then if somebody do crazy thing, that is the religion. You cross the law, right? You are infidel or whatever. Is the right word? Something like that. Then we can, do something that way. But nowadays, that will not work. If it will work for maybe next 20 years. Then it will not work. But earlier, one of my friends asked me to write a song about environment. Okay, I would. Then he said, you must write it. You must say one thing. I said, okay, what should I say? He said, you must say that if you damage environment, the deity will punish you. Oh, really? He said, if you don't say that, nobody will listen. If you say that if you damage environment, then the local deity will punish you. Then everybody will follow that. He told me that. Then I thought, okay. Then I tried to write it down. I could not. It's not coming in my head. Right? I don't think everybody is like me or like him, but it is not talking in my head. If someone says that if you don't do this, that deity will punish you, I might do opposite way. Right? People are different. So, especially like new age people, new generation, they have, I'm not saying there's good or bad thing. Okay, that is what it is. Most time they need a reason, right? And then without reason, if you say the deity will happen something or is in the book, it will not work that much. I don't think so. Because of internet. It's funny, but actually true, right? You can see tons of things. And earlier time, there's no internet. There's no even the newspaper on the time. And then people like to, believe what they were told will stay there. Nowadays, no. Every people have if you tell them one word, they comes with 5 questions and 10 argument there. They would not believe until they find right reason to prove it. Therefore, these things will not work. Then even you make a law, right? You make a law. As I mentioned earlier, the law is strange thing, Law could be good, could be strange. Because why? Who made the law? People made the law, right? So then sometimes, law can be not something that we can trust. Most time, the law apply on lower class people, but the upper class, or I don't know, who have power, when they want to do something, they will find out how to do that with law. They might change the law. They might, twist the law. They might find lawyer to break law. Right? So actually lawyers should be someone that protect the law, but you can find a lawyer to break the law and, make a hole around the law and just go through it. Maybe in this country, right, I think the law system seems great, but every country is not same. And there's some country they have crooked law from beginning. I think, having something in the law is helpful, but in for example, you try to make a law to not build a nuclear weapon. Can you?
Yeah.
Right? We cannot. Okay, we can. We did not, but because the who have power thinks that is important, that should have, That may be a big subject, but I wish, right? I wish then. I wish, but in a country that tells other country not to build big weapon, but they are the one who build all the time. So anyway, I'm talking too far. Have to come back here. So the planet Earth. The most important thing is the planet Earth is not an object. Planet Earth is something that everything based on. Everything is growing on, right? Then in the second thing is planet Earth is a shared thing. It's not individual things. We should respect this planet for future living beings. And then third thing is that the best way to save the planet Earth is control our those desires, attachment, and hatred. In that way, we can save planet. So then, desireless attachment does what? It, damage planet directly. Also, I feel like, the desireless attachment is main thing, makes a lot of garbage, waste. More garbage, more damage. Honestly, I was living in a neighborhood and I look around every day. Each household has full of garbage in their garbage bin. How many people there? Look around, 1, 2, sometimes almost looks like nobody is there. Sometimes but every time their garbage is full. Now look in their garbage what they have. I didn't open their garbage, but I can see it because it's full and even they cannot close their top box and box and box. It's not food, it's box in box. Right? And that's how we create it. So why they have box and box and box? If they have a recycle things, that's a little better, but in my neighborhood where I live, they don't have. All things goes into one thing. And I was wondering how much they get those things to throw out. Right, that's the thing, We have a lot of desire to have things and bring things, throw away, bring things, throw away. And that way, we are damaging and this thing. So, anyway, I would like to stop here. And thank you very much for listening and have a great day.